Thank you for tuning into the Faceless Podcast. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. You can call me whatever you want. As long as it's not I'll most probably respond. Now, this one here. This one here. Um, I know I'm going to get some hate on this one. I already know one of my cousins, love him to pieces. He's already going to hate me for this, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm just sharing my thoughts and my opinions. Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, the most requested black scholar in the universe, not just the world, the universe. Let that sink in. So, Dr. Umar Johnson, why do I want to discuss this guy? Why do I want to talk about this guy? Basically, what's happening at the moment that I'm seeing is there is a movement of black people really who are kind of starting to move away from the Judeo-Christian religion or Christianity per se, and they're kind of looking for another path. They're looking for something else to kind of guide them, something else that's spiritual. There's a few other movements that I'll probably touch into at a later date, which some of my friends even follow closely. There's been this resurgence into chematology and Egyptology, and again, that's if you want to see these videos, by the way, that I'm talking about, do leave it in the comments. And I will make these videos. I will do a little bit more research into it as well, so I could try make something coherent. This video and the last video will be slightly different to what we normally talk about, like I say, because I'm just sharing my thoughts and opinions at the moment based on what I've been able to learn. So yeah, let's get into it. Dr. Umar Johnson, let's talk about it. So I think Dr. Umar Johnson started to come on the scene around 2009. I think that's when a lot of people started to kind of notice him, and he's preaching this Pan-Africanism. He's preaching black supremacy. He's preaching segregation. He's preaching basically black people need to do our own thing. Now, some of the stuff, like a lot of you that have heard about him, there's elements of truth to some of the things that he says. So I was listening. I won't say I was ever a fan, because as you know, anyone who knows me, I'm not pro any supremacy. So I'm not pro white supremacy. I'm not pro black supremacy. I'm a Christian, so I believe we're all created equal in the eyes of God. So just based off that alone, I'm not pro black supremacy where black people think they're superior to any other race. I'm not pro any other race thinking they're superior to any other race, if that makes sense. So I was never a super fan, but he speaks well. He invokes a lot of emotion, and he sounds like he knows what he talks about. So to the untrained eye, you're thinking this is the Messiah. This is, yeah, we've got some, and he starts talking about I've got 6 degrees, which I will put some links to the videos below, which actually inspired why I wanted to speak about. So there's been some great work that's been done by Lennon Honor, where he's released like a documentary, kind of delving more into the person and what's going on. And there's other people that have also made great work, kind of showing, because I don't want to use the word exposing, because then it sounds like I'm just making another a hate podcast. It's not a hate podcast. It's just facts, evidence, consistency. So we look at the facts, we look at the evidence, and then we look at the consistency in someone's logic. So it's not about hating him. It's not about exposing him. It's about let's look at what it is. If that right there is green, let's call it green, and help people who think it might be red or blue to see that no, this is green. So moving on now. So yeah, so he's hopped on the scene. His preaching has managed to gather following. And one of his main kind of talking points that he kind of spouts is starting this school specifically for black males, and I think includes black females as well, teaching them kind of kind of pan-Africanist black culture. And by that, why I didn't just say black culture and say pan-Africanist black culture is because it's slightly different. And if you've been tuning into what they've been saying, it is slightly different. And he said having things kind of, I think some of the things were like teaching them self-defense, which is not bad, teaching them farming, which is not bad, teaching them how to operate in the world. So the concept in itself, having a school which is focused on helping to uplift the black community is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. My issue would be, why does it have to just be black people? Because there's poor white people as well that could use the help. But then I'll concede the point. And if you go, well, white people have had all of this, whatever, I'll come, we have something that's our own. I'll concede that point as long as you're happy to accept. If a white person was then to say the same thing, you'd be like, okay, yeah, you go have your all-white school, we'll have an all-black school. As long as that's where you stand, then I'll concede the point. But if you have an issue with white people doing that, then you should also have an issue with having a separatist black school. But however, regardless of that, wanting to start a school to educate and uplift the youth, I was like, you know what, this is not a bad idea. And I think it's called the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. And yeah, so even moving on to that, so this is from like 2009, and what he started to ask for is donations. Can you donate so that we could start this school? And he's had loads of people donate from 2009. We're now in 2020, July of 2020, and it's always one excuse after the other. He finally bought a property in February last year, I think February 2019. For the school, and again there's some issues that even rise up with that in terms of the area he's bought it in, just from an environmental perspective, just from a geographic perspective, just from where you want to send your children to a place like that. And again, I'll put the link below, and because what I never want to do is butcher someone who's done brilliant work on the matter. I'm only just sharing my thoughts and my commentary based on the work that they've done. So I feel then I need to give them that credit, give them that due, and redirect you guys there. So so some of the things that they bring up in these videos when they're kind of showing green for green, as I'd like to call it, is things like, okay, cool, he's been asking for donations for about 11 years now. He's in there's a four-year period which he raised 750,000. He's ended up buying this building. This building's cost 400k. What happened to the other 350k? Because now he's fundraising again for renovations. He's had the building for over a year. No renovations have been done. Now all of a sudden, a few weeks ago, someone's tried to commit arson. It said attempted arson. Again, to me, it seemed like it's another excuse for him to keep on scamming people. Now, my opinions on him, I believe he is a fraud. I believe he is a scam artist. What I do believe as well is maybe, like, you see when I say maybe, this much, maybe when he started, he had good intentions. Maybe when he started, he wanted to uplift his people. However, as he stands today, I think he's looking to defraud his own people. And remember that I've made videos on this very same channel which say there are black people that are exploiting the struggle and exploiting their fellow brothers and sisters for their own personal wealth and riches. And I see all the telltale signs from this guy, Dr. Umar Johnson. And I don't even think he's a doctor. I think maximum he's probably got a degree and a half. But and again, I'll put the link. Please, that if you love this guy, if he's your messiah, if you stand by every word that he says, please watch these videos. Debunk him. Bring new evidence. These people have brought evidence to the forefront. Bring new evidence. I don't want to hear people say, but the system. Yeah, when black people try to do something positive, you know what the system does. Because my cousin told me this, and other people have told me this. To me, that's not debunking. That's making an excuse. That's not giving me a reason. That's making an excuse. You've basically set him up in a situation where he cannot fail because there's this undefeatable villain who this invisible villain who is so out to get him that everything he does every time he fails to meet an objective, it's because of the man. We'll call him the man, or it's because of them or they. So that issue there, if you've got evidence to prove that he is about what he says is about, if you've got evidence to prove that, look, this money is going to proper causes, share it. Put it in the comments. Put the videos in the comments. Educate. Like, this is what I want. Diversity of thoughts. Let's talk about this fraud. Let's talk about this person. Now, one of the other reasons I wanted to make this video is because I want this to be a time mark. I want this to be a mark in history where if I'm wrong, you could share this to me whenever this school gets built and say, Shepherd, you was wrong. And I will put out a statement saying I was wrong for what I said. This is the truth. But I also want it to be a marker in time to show that as it stands off to this day, this year, July 2020, this school has not been built. He's been taking donations since 2009. He's taken a lot of money from a lot of black people, from a lot of people that believe in a cause, and no one's seen any results for it. All they've seen is a questionable purchase of a building that was meant to be demolished because the area that it's in has been marked as a brownfield, which means there's environmental risks, or it's unsafe to be used in certain ways. And the government or the state would have to put some measures in place to make sure that it's fit for purpose, or they'll have to repurpose it. So if it was a school before, it would have to get used as maybe a park because of the environmental issues. You can't have people spending a long time in that place. But again, I will put the link that Lennon, he goes into a video. It's about 3 hours long where he goes into all of this. He goes into the reports. He goes into this. So I want you to check it out. I want you to have a look at it because I feel like this is an important topic to talk about. I am tired of seeing fellow black people, my black brothers and sisters, exploiting other black brothers and sisters using the struggle, using the fact, saying we need our own things, we need to support each other, when really and truly you're out here to just get yourself rich. This is why I wanted to make this video, and things like this upset me. I get emotional over things like this, and I don't care if you want to support him, but keep that same energy when he turns out to be a fake, when he turns out to be a fraud, because people are trying to warn you. People are trying to make you see the light. You refusing to do so, I can't be held responsible for that. So I want this video to be a marker in time to say, as of July 2020, the school has not been built. My prediction is the school will never be built. My prediction is this school will never open. And if you watch his history, if you watch the progress that he's made or the lack of it in the last 11 years, then you understand where I'm coming from that part. He's already started to make excuses for why it can't be opened. He'll do things like he'll put up Instagram posts saying, yeah, we're looking for plumbers, we're looking for HVAC people, we're looking for whatever. Then when those people message him, willing to give up their time for free to help this cause, they get no responses. They might get a yeah, 1, 2, 3, but they get no responses. It never goes anywhere. My personal prediction as Shepherd, I'm putting my hands up right now, I don't think this school's going to get built. I think more and more people are going to get defrauded by this fraud. More and more people are going to get stolen from by this fraud in the name of helping black youth and black children. And I've only scratched the surface in some of the stuff he said, but I want this video to be a marker in time. So in 4 or 5 years' time, we could go back to this video and say, Shepherd, were you wrong or were you right? And I'll hold my hands up. If I was wrong, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll even direct it and at him. I said this, I was talking the most nonsense about you. I apologize. If I'm right, you might just get this look here. That's about it. Because I don't want to be right. I want him to stick to his word and help uplift the people. But I don't see that. I don't buy that. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know, do you think Dr. Umar Johnson is the truth? Do you think he's a fraud? From what you've seen, from what you've investigated, let me know. Put it in the comments below. Let's get these conversations going, guys. Follow me on Facebook at TheFacelessPodcast. I'm also on Parler at Shep Quenda. On Instagram, TheFacelessPod. And I'll put all of those below as well. Thank you very much for your time. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. Call me what you want. As long as it's not I, we'll get along. Have a good day.